You're up and live on our YouTube channel, and then we're going to do some wire wrapping. I hope everybody's well today on this beautiful Friday, wherever you guys are, morning, afternoon, or evening. Let's see, let me make sure I can see me on our YouTube channel. It should be coming up anytime here. And let's see if I can find us on our bead shop channel here. There we go. I got that notification. I am up.
Good stuff. There we go.
Alrighty. I can see you guys over on Facebook, which is great. Let me just make sure I can see all of you guys here. Bear with me here. There's all sorts of stuff that has to happen. So to make sure I can see you guys. There we go. I can see all the comments. Perfect. And I'm still looking for us on YouTube. Are we over on YouTube yet? Are we up and running? I'll make sure our videos, let me see if I can make that happen. It should be. YouTube's there. Looks like there it is. I found it. I just had to refresh. Perfect. I've got so many screens. As you guys know, I've got 3 screens in front of me. There we go. I can see all of you guys here. Great. Well, it is great to have everybody here. Happy Friday indeed. I'm seeing everybody here ready to wire wrap. I'm cutting off the top of my head a little bit. There we go. That's a little better. I can scrunch down a little. Alrighty. Well, it's great to have you guys. Today we are going to wire wrap. We're going to play around with the piece that Allie brought with her for that epic lookbook. I don't know about you guys if you're still looking at it, but I'm still looking at it. The epic lookbook that we have there. This guy, Creative Journey, right? It was crazy. And we're going to look at one of those. If you haven't done the lookbook yet, if you haven't downloaded it, go to our website, beadshop.com. Go to, I'll tell you exactly where to go. You go to Projects, scroll down to Lookbook Collection, click on Lookbook Collection, and you'll see it. It's in the #1 spot all the way over to the left. It says Creative Journey Summer 2019, which is great. Camera still seems to be moving. There we go. It's not an earthquake, it's the camera. There we go. So we're going to, I'm going to show you, I'll turn the camera around and we'll take a close look at that leaf. But I want to make sure I can see everyone. It's great to have you guys here. Geeta is over on our Facebook feed, moderating at beadshop.com, and I'm going to keep an eye on our live chat over here on YouTube. So I think we are good to go. I wanted to ask you guys, some of you who follow me on my social media, on my Kate Richberg Jewelry Educator page, as well as my YouTube channel and stuff. And it's all integrated. It's all kind of, you know, I do stuff for Bead Shop and we do metalworking stuff, all kinds of fun stuff there as well. But I've been thinking for a while about giving everybody a peek into the studio via the live streaming platform called Twitch. And some of you have read about it on my Facebook page, and I posted about it this morning in the Bead Table, our beadshop.com group. And I'd love to know your feedback about Twitch. It's traditionally a gaming platform, and the gaming platform, what you do is, I know it sounds crazy, but gamers play video games, right? And they have it dialed into their screen, and people watch gamers play video games, and they comment and chat. Well, I wouldn't be doing video games. I would be doing projects, craft projects, metalsmithing projects, beading projects, whatever. Craft Industry Alliance, it's a great kind of news organization about the craft world, just wrote an article about Twitch, and I have been on Twitch for a while. I thought about it was about 2 years ago. Some of you guys remember Ivan, our wonderful shipping lead before Chris came back. Ivan has gone on to new and exciting things, but Ivan was a big follower of Twitch, and we were talking about it a little bit, and I was saying, you know what? I think it would be a great forum for just like long form demos, right? We do live streaming, as you know, here on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page over at beadshop.com on Facebook. But it was pretty, Twitch is kind of fun. It's totally off the cuff. It's not scripted. It wouldn't be, you know, a project that I've prepared for like on Wednesdays. Our Friday broadcasts are, you know, pretty casual here on Free Tip Friday, but Twitch would be the most casual at all when, if I were here in the studio on a Saturday working, which I do a lot of my kind of mock-ups of pieces and designing and just, you know, beadwork and metalwork. There's, you know, there is no rose-colored glasses on the lens for sure. So it would be kind of a window into my crafting world. There are some crafters already on Twitch, which is awesome. So you can find me over there at BeadKate if you want to give me a follow. And I think in the next, you know, I'm going to go on vacation in a little bit. I'm going to take a week off soon. And we are, but after we're in the fall, later on in the fall, I think I may give Twitch a try. So get yourselves over there, get yourself signed up. Don't be daunted by all the gamers and all the kind of, you know, the young looking stuff over there. Just do a search at BeadKate. You'll find me. Follow me over there and we'll see. And they'd be archived. They'd be on there forever. I think you can watch them. I think all of the broadcasts are archived like they are on YouTube. So you could watch them later for sure. So it would be really fun. So yeah, find me at BeadKate over on Twitch. And we'll see what Bead Shop can come up with. We're gonna, you know, why not? We've been doing this, it's been almost 3 years that we've been doing this live broadcast. The 3-year anniversary is in October, so I'm not sure what we're going to do for it, but maybe we'll add another streaming platform for our 3rd live streaming anniversary. So give it a go. You know, I know some of you don't want too many social media platforms, but Twitch is pretty cool. I dig it. I follow some crafters over there. There's a lot of kind of like cosplay, costumers and stuff that, you know, they just turn the camera on and they make stuff, which is pretty cool. So we'll see. Yep, at BeadKate. That's right, over on Twitch. So our Wednesday and Friday broadcasts for now would stay on Facebook and YouTube, and Twitch would just be kind of a long form kind of demo day. So we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. So, but it's fun. So anyway, that's my story about that. And you can also follow me at BeadKate on Insta. I guess that's it. I'm BeadKate on Insta. Also, I think on Pinterest, or Kate Richburg on Pinterest, but it's all there, so you guys can find me. Anyway, and let's get to it. Let me turn this camera around, and let's get to making, okay? You're going to see me get, you know, on Fridays, I'm my own camera person, so here it goes. I'm going to turn this camera around. Yeah, Twitch is its own platform. You just go on, and it's all, I think they have an app for your device, and you can also watch it via desktop. So yeah, it's its own thing. It's been going on for a long time. It's a big gamer platform. So some of you may also be gamers and beaters. I don't know. I don't really play video games. I think my last video game was Super Mario Kart, so you know how long ago that was. But my parents did have an Atari that I was pretty good at, but this newfangled gaming, not so much. But Karen, our webmaster, yes, she is a gamer extraordinaire. So anyway, it's just a new platform, kind of a new, interesting thing to look at. So we'll see what happens. But anyway, let's get to the task at hand right now, kids. I am really excited about this project from Allie. This is one of the necklaces that she brought in. You remember that guy, and it was called, I'll get the last page from the lookbook. It was called Vintage Collage. And you guys really honed in on that wrapped leaf, which I honed in on too, because, you know, wire is my spirit animal, right? So it was pretty cool. It was, the project itself is gorgeous, and you can see it right here. She used these wall knots at the end. Let me try and position this kind of so we're not tilted, so I don't feel like I'm seasick. There we go. Sorry about that. There we go, you guys. I think that's better. Let me zoom in on this leaf so you guys can see what's happening here. There you go. And so we're going to look at this. And I grabbed some of our feather charms because any of these would work. I'm also going to brighten the screen up here a little bit. Bear with me here just a second while I do that. Let me get this brightness up just a little. Let's see if that makes a difference. And if this makes a difference. That might be a little blown out. Let me try that. Bear with me again here just a little bit. Let me see. That's better. I'm going to try, that's better. I think I saw that click over. And that's pretty bright. That looks pretty good. I just want to make sure that you guys can see. Nope, that's not good at all. I'm going to undo that. Bear with me here, you guys, just a second while I fix this. There we go. I think that's better. Let's see what happens. Is that looking okay? Can we see? Is it all right? Any feedback? Yes, yes, no? Not too bad. I'm sorry that the, let me see. Contrast. Let me just go back to, sorry, I shouldn't have screwed with this, right? Let me see. Let me go back to normal adjustment. There we go. That's better. Let me do this. And let me do a brightness. There we go. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're back. We're back. So, okay, so let's take a look at this guy here. Here's the feather. This one is called Wind River, I believe. Yeah, sorry about all of that playing around with the color, but I think we're in good shape. This one, so I pulled a whole bunch of the charms here, and I literally went in onto my little maker desk that's in my office, grabbed some of the beads off of it, and walked in here. So, so it's not that fancy, right? It is like the Eye Doctor. Kim Calais is like, is it better number one, number two, number one, number two, right? Totally. Okay, so here is Feather Dance, this guy. This one is Wind River that Allie used, this big one. And this one is called Flight. Okay, this one here. And so we've got 3 different types of feathers. So you can use big feathers, little feathers, something like that. Okay, so whatever works for you. And then I grabbed some completely random beads. What Allie used is she used Padres. I think she used Padres. You know what? She actually didn't. She used some Age Check. That's what she used. I grabbed, Cara had a strand of Padres that broke. And I said, hey, I need some Padres. So she tossed these over to me because she had these on her desk. So this is the red Chipotle, I think, Padres. So I grabbed those, right? And I was finishing my piece from my box that I did from the Jade Dreams box, I had a few O beads, so I've grabbed those. And then these are the 5 millimeter rondelles in, I'll tell you, maybe, I don't know, maybe champagne or something like that. Let me just double check and take a look. The 5 millimeter rondelles are so good for everything, and I like a shape with this. I'm going over to our website, I'm searching over on Check Glass, and then over to the left there's some sorting mechanisms that you can use. So I'm sorting by 5 millimeter rondelles, and there they are. It is the champagne mix. Indeed it is the champagne mix. Okay. So I've got a few of those. And you guys, that is just how I picked my palette to use for today. Oh, I also, as I was walking by, as I was coming into this room, this tube of matte teal AB and ADOTs was sitting there as well. And I thought, hey, that works for me. So that is just how I pulled this color palette. Let me get it a little bit tighter so you guys can see it. The red Chipotle Padres, 5 millimeter rondelles, these O beads in, I don't know, metallic mix or something, and these matte teal AB ADOTs. So this was a color palette by necessity, not by too much thought. But I think it looks good, right? I think it looks like it's a good time with this. And and sometimes, you guys, when you're kind of under pressure, that's when you do your best work, right? You just go in, you make some fast decisions, you go with your gut, and this is what you get. I also had a scrap of this Fancy Pants chain, so I thought maybe I could work it into the design that I'm going to do today. We'll see. I haven't really even thought about it too much, but we'll see. I don't know. We'll see what happens. So, the wire I'm going to use, let me make this a little bit bigger. I've got my Parawire here, and I think I'm going to use a brass, the brass Wind River here. And I'm going to use a contrasting metal because I like mixed metals. I could use the vintage bronze, but I'm going to go ahead and use the Bear Copper. Bear Copper is my favorite to use. Bear Copper wire is just my favorite anyway. And I think I'm going to use, here's some 22 gauge, here's some 24 gauge, which I like the looks of. I was hoping that the bag I pulled had some heavier gauge wire with it to do that wrap with. I want some 20, but I don't think I have it sitting here. So I'm going to use, well, the box is just over there. Let me go grab some. That's what I'll do. Because 20 gauge is really what you want for the base of this. Maybe even 18 gauge if it's heavy enough. Let's see, there's 26, there's 22. I've got some 16 gauge, so maybe I'll just use that. I don't know. It doesn't, the wire gauge doesn't really matter all that much. You just want it heavy enough so things are going to stay together. I also have another idea for you. So we'll make necessity the mother of invention. As perhaps if you were sitting at home flailing around for 20 gauge and you didn't have 20 gauge, What would you use? Well, I'm going to show you how I'll solve that dilemma. Okay, so let's go with this kind of interesting little color mix that we've got going on here. And I like it. I like the look of it. I think it's kind of a fun mixture of beads here. And let's jump in. So on Allie's piece, you can see here. And Allie, I know you're watching, and I know you don't watch with comments, so you may have to turn comments on if you're here. But it looks like what Allie did, and I'll just kind of talk it through. Or at least this is how I would approach it. Okay, I'm not gonna say this is exactly what she did, but this is what I would do for my interpretation of what she did here. And so can you see here, there is a wire wrap at the bottom, right there, okay? So that wire wrap at the bottom right there is where I'm gonna start, okay? So this was the heavier gauge I was hoping to have, because this base, we want it to be a little bit heavier, and we want this ring to be sturdy enough to connect to chain or whatever it is we want it to connect to. So in a perfect world, had I prepared a little bit better, if this was a Wednesday Facebook Live and not a Friday fly by my seat of my pants free tip Friday, I would use maybe 20 gauge for this, okay? But I want a heavy loop, and what I have is 22 gauge. Now maybe the beads that I want to put on this, maybe the bead holes won't fit a 20 gauge that I want to use, but I still want a heavy duty loop. Okay, let me move those suckers over. So what I'll do, and you've seen me do this before. Look at that nice little pile over there. Doesn't it look pretty? I'm going to come in, I'm going to get my round nose plier, my 22 gauge wire. I'm going to go around the round nose plier once and twice. Can you see that? To make a doubled loop. There we go. Now that going around twice gives that doubled loop some weight behind it, right? Just easy. Now I cross those wires and I get my chain nose and I'm going to bend this long wire up so it's nice and straight. And I'm going to bend that short wire down at an angle. So you can see, I'm going to straighten that loop so it's in the middle. So it's right in the center there. Can you see that? Let me move these beads out of the background so you guys can see a little bit better. There we go. So there's my doubled loop. The piece I'm going to wrap with to close that loop is a short piece. The long piece is what I'm going to put wire around, or beads on, rather. So I'm going to hold that loop in my round nose. And I'm holding this with my dominant hand. I'm wire wrapping with my non-dominant. And I'm coming in and wrapping around. I haven't given a shout out lately to all of the fun pets that watch with our bead shop free tip Friday and Facebook Live groups. I know that some of my favorite pets are out there too. My mom, I'm sure, is watching with her pup. And then there's Sam, our old man cat. I hope you're doing well, Sammy. Alfie's at home today, resting up for his big weekend of being naughty. There we go. So see how that nice doubled loop is good and wrapped. Let me get in real tight so you guys can see that up close. Okay, so I use this. Gerald was saying that, or no, Trish was saying that she uses this a lot, this doubled wrap. And I use it a lot too, especially if we are doing something that might be a little bit heavier. That doubled over loop is a nice way to go. Okay, so let me put some beads on here. So what Allie did was she used kind of a stopper bead It looks like something that kind of had a big hole, something that the tip of that feather could kind of sit into. Well, I don't really have that so much, so I'm going to, I don't know, I'm just going to guess this. I love it. Everybody's checking in with their pets. Some pets are eating, some pets are snoring. I love all of it. That's great. I also have this kind of big 8mm bead. I don't know, it was sitting here from one of our 8mm Dakota Stone strands. I'm going to put that on. And then I'm just going to put some of these Padres on, and I'm not going to worry about it too much. I'm going to put some Padres, some A-dots, some O beads, flying by the seat of my pants, going here. Yep. You know, sometimes just designing for designing's sake, right? Allie brought this piece on Wednesday. We were all totally entranced by it. Then just jump in and make it. You know, who cares? If we screw up, it's only a little bit of wire and we can reuse that charm, no problem. So, and the copper wire, very inexpensive, not a big deal. So I'm not going to go up all the way yet, right? I've got my beads kind of on the front here. And I see Emily's great contribution to our beadshop.com world, the clamper. So I'm going to clamp it like this. One of her many. The clamper is certainly not the only addition or a contribution, M, but I think of you every time I grab that wire or those clamps. I'm going to do my wrapping, you guys, with 24 gauge. 24 gauge is thin enough that it will wrap nicely, nice and tight. And it's malleable enough, it's dead soft, so I can really get it in there between the beads. It's not so thin that it's not going to hold up. So I'm just going to grab some, maybe a foot, maybe a little bit more. Maybe this is about 14 inches. Okay. And let me just wrap. So I'm going to lay this wire across my beads, and I'm going to give myself a little bit of a tail here because I'm going to have to wrap down there. But I'm just going to start, I'm going to come in with my wire, and I'm going to capture between the Padres and the O beads. Okay? And wrap again between the next Padre and between the next Padre. And it looks like Allie skipped some and she wrapped hers twice. So maybe I'll wrap this one twice. Once, twice. I'll push those down, maybe go one time. There we go. Now I'm going to come back down pretty quickly here because things are a little loose down at the bottom. Okay? And I'm going to come in. Oh, I just saw Tracy from Tiara Cast pop in. Tracy, you know this charm very well. I would think we're going to embellish this wonderful feather charm, one of our favorites from the TC collection. Making this into kind of a boho extravaganza here. So see how I just kind of push that in just like that. And I'm going to come in and I'm going to work this with some more wire in a second, but I'm going to move forward and add more beads. So I'm going to unclip my wire, and I think I'm going to string maybe about halfway the rest, just so that I'm not working with too many. It's not too crazy. I love it that Gita, her parrot, is speaking with her American accent. I love it. That's so funny. I guess you don't think about talking parrots having the accent of whatever home country they live in. That's hilarious. I love it. Let's put a few more there. There we go. And a few more here. Well, that's probably enough for now. I'm going to clamp again, and let's wrap. And the wire, I'm trying to line up with the center part of this feather like this. It's over just a little bit. Yes, Tracy's saying that they've done so many fun things with this feather. It's so true. You guys over at TiaraCast are so terribly clever with all of your designs and stuff. We always love your support. I'm going to wrap a few more times like this. Maybe I'll wrap one between that O bead. Don't get too fussy with this. Just let the wire flow. Okay, see, I've skipped 3 beads there, but I'm not worried about it. We want this to be kind of a, what do I want to say, kind of a free form kind of an action here. Now, to finish this wire, because I'm missing wire here, or I'm getting to the end of my wire, I'm just going to wrap this wire a couple of times between 2 of the beads, clip away my extra. Again, this is 24 gauge that I'm using, bare wire, our pear wire that we carry here at beadshop.com. And I'm just going to come in and push that little tip of the wire right in like so. Let me just get that in there because I don't want it to hit anywhere. There we go. Looks good. And so see, it just looks like it was meant to be there. I just need a few more beads to finish off the top, right? So I'm gonna, a few more. Yeah, the feathers, I love this feather. It comes in all 3 finishes. It comes in the antique silver, the antique copper, and the brass. We also carry the other TiaraCast feather. We call this one Feather Dance. A little smaller. You could just scale down your wrapping on this one. It would look great. So it's good. And Tracy, if you're having issues, you know, sometimes our Facebook stream, the streaming doesn't work all that great. Go over to our YouTube channel. We also stream there as well, and the stream is super strong over there. So, let's see. Oh, that Ali Mori, she was so clever. You know what she did? She put this wire through the loop, which I'm going to do. And what I'm going to do, she kind of finished it off by just cutting and wrapping over it. I am actually, things are still pretty loose back here, so I'm just going to push this wire underneath everything here because I'm going to use the rest of this wire to wire wrap the bottom. Push it under. We're going to tighten this up, so don't worry. It looks a little mishmashy, but that's a good thing, I think. But we're going to straighten it out just a little. Let's clean this up. There we go. And I'm going to push this wire back up. It got a little displaced, but that's no big deal. You're telling the wire who's boss. All right. Now, I'm going to turn this over. Yeah, I'm sorry Facebook has been having so many issues lately, you guys, especially, you know, some of you guys have a really strong Facebook stream. My Facebook is fine. It's not cutting out at all. So I just think it depends on how many people are streaming at one time. So I'm just going to kind of bring it around. This is that 22 gauge wire that's going up through the top. So I think 22 gauge was actually the right gauge for this, right? Because 20 would have been a little heavy-handed, I think, for all this wrapping. So it was fortuitous that I didn't have a 20 gauge. 22 gauge is working perfectly. And see, there we go. Done and done. Now I'm going to put that link to the side like that. So now I'm going to lop myself up, and so that center, it's nice and secure there. Let me put it down there for a second so you guys can see. I'm going to get myself another bunch of 24 gauge, another length of 24 gauge. I don't know, maybe another 14 inches or so. Clip it away with my trusty Xuron cutters. Also, if you're still watching, we've been going through our fun goodie bag stuff for our retreat. We got some wonderful goodie bag swag from Tiara Cast, which was very nice of you guys to send. Thank you so much. We got some wonderful goodie bag swag from Nun Design, and just today a beautiful, beautiful little packages from Dakota Stones. So thank you guys so much. We've got more coming from other of our vendors. We really, really appreciate it. And I will be doing, I've done it in the past, we will, after the retreat, be doing one of the goodie bags as a giveaway. So, but thank you guys so much for our vendor partners for sending those over. We really appreciate your support on it. So now you can see, as I was waxing on and on about the wonderful goodie bag things, I've just wrapped. I finished wrapping. So now I've got two ends. Okay, how am I going to finish these off? Well, there's a couple of ways. I'm going to do this one down here one way, and I'll do this one up here another. Okay, I'm going to come in, and I've cut, so this is, I don't know, maybe about 1 inch plus or something like that, right? And I'm going to bend this at an angle and just spiral. Can you see what's happening under my tool? You can't, so I'm going to show you. There we go. I've started that spiral. I grab it with the head of my chain nose plier, and I just walk that spiral. I actually want to do it this way. I have a little bit better control. And grab it a little bit further down towards the bottom of the plier there, and just walk that spiral, one wire next to the other, conforming around the shape. Those of you who've seen me wire wrap from years ago, my mom is probably saying, I know what she's saying right now to my dad, oh, that old trick. That's what she's saying, I can tell, right? It's an oldie but a goodie, right? So I'm going to take this and I'm going to just push it underneath one of the wires, and I'll show you how I will secure that in just a second. But there we go. Can you see that? It's just there. So we're going to let that one sit. This one here, I'm just going to wrap up. I've got a little bit of a tail there. I'm going to switch to my chain nose, or the bent chain nose, and I'm going to grab the bent chain with the tip, the wire with at the tip of the wire with the bent chain, and see how I can swing that wire underneath all of those wires there. Let me get real close so you guys can see that. I'm going to pull it through, try and stay in frame for you, and tighten it up around these other little wires here. And I'm going to do it one more time. That just makes kind of a nice little bind off. So you stick it under there, pull it tight. These bent chain nose pliers, you guys, really do the trick. They're like a little pair of fingers that grab the wire and send it underneath. There we go. See that? All three. Now let me clip. There we go. And tighten that up. Okay. There we go. So now we've got that hole. There's the back. And we want to make the back look as good as the front, right? That's a saying from, you know, when you're a little girl and you learn how to do embroidery, or, you know, if you've learned from your grandmother would always say, my gran would, for sure, make the back look as good as the front, right? So I'm going to flip this around and let's tighten. Can you see the side view? I'm going to try and show you the side so you can see how there's some room there under that wire. Can you see that? So it's not too loose. If I didn't tighten things up or whatever, it would still be fine. But I want to tighten it just a little. Okay, so this is another old trick, another oldie but a goodie. I come in with the tips of my plier. I hold the tips at a right angle to that wire. Can you see that? And I'm going to make a quarter turn. Boom. That gives the wire just a little bit of cinching. And I don't need to do every wire, but it's going to neaten everything up and tighten everything up. Remember when I did that spiral earlier, it just kind of pushed under that piece of wire? The wire that's right on top of it, I'm just going to tighten, and that'll hold that spiral in place. I'm going to do this one too. It'll hold that wire in place so it's not going anywhere. See that? We do this one here. This one maybe. Whatever, do it at random. Okay. How's this looking? Not too bad. Let me do it a little bit on the front, just for a little bit of textural interest. Not a lot, but a little. Come in. If your wire is tight, though, you're going to snap your wire. So make sure that you're not too tight on your wrapping. If it's tight, you may not want to do too much of these. We'll do that one down there, wherever it feels right. This one's kind of sticking up, so I'm going to just tighten it down over there. Use the tip of my plier to push it in. There we go. One more. I want one more. I want this one right. Yes, right there. There we go. Okay. Let me put this down, and let me get you a close-up view. That's it. It's not too bad, huh? This would be a good pendant start. You can see here's Ms. Maury's. I could use that in a, it would be also really great as a component in your necklace. You know what I have? It's still sitting here. It's a good thing, I guess, I don't really clean up this work table that much. I have this tassel that we did from way back. Wouldn't that be dramatic? I could attach it. Let me see. If I'm attaching it, how would I do it? Let me see. I've got some chain. Where did that Fancy Pants chain go? This Fancy Pants is pretty cool. It's really easy. Look at this beautiful mess of business over here. Let me clean this up just a little. So we're trying to put our best face forward. There we go. Things got a little out of hand there for a second. Let me just clean this up. Plus, it'll make things look a little nicer. There we go. There are our beads. We'll move those over. I need a little triangle. Let me get it. Let me get that triangle. There we go. Let's make it look pretty. You know that you guys, if you're watching on your mobile device, you do know that you can take screenshots, right, of live broadcasts. Did you know that? If you wanted to preserve a memory or an idea in your photo roll, you can screenshot it. I don't know if you guys knew that, but you do now. So it's always helpful to do that sometimes, and it'll hang out in your photo roll, and you'll be like, oh, I remember when Kate did that, and it'll just jog your memory. There we go. That looks pretty. It's ready for your screenshot. Okay, so to connect, if I wanted to connect this, maybe I'd connect it to a tassel that was shorter. I don't know, but why not go for the drama, right? Why not? Let me open this up. This Fancy Pants, let me get this a little bit tighter so you guys can see. This Fancy Pants chain has my favorite jump ring in it. It's like a 6mm or something, maybe 6x9mm or 6x8mm oval jump ring here. So I'm going to open it up. I don't need to cut it. I just open it. There we go. I'm going to connect that jump ring. I'm going to keep that loop on there. Connect that jump ring to the bottom of this feather. And this jump ring, let's see if it's big enough to get around this macrame, and indeed it is. Close it up. So this is also a way, let's say that, you know, you're making stuff, whatever, and you're like, well, I don't know what I want to make today, right? You're like, I have no idea. Make component parts, you guys. These are from 2 completely different Bead Shop Live shows, right? I could veer this one off to the side and look at this. I'll get those Chipotle Padres that Cara gave me that were broken. I'd have to restring them. I could add other stuff to them. Of course, they're tangled, so bear with me here just a second. I think I can untangle them. Come on. Beads just like to tangle, don't they? This loose little strand, but I really want to show you this, so I'm just going to follow the path of untangling here. Bear with me here just a second. There it goes. Okay, these red Chipotle Padres have such an old, like, I dug these up on my archaeological dig and smuggled them out of the country look to them, right? At least me. Am I the only one? Maybe it's just me. But they really have that old time look to me, feeling to me. So there it is. Finally, here are the Chipotle Padres, right? I could connect that to that loop, and I could connect them up here like this. So this feather could be in the body of the necklace, and then this tassel could hang down, right? You could even, I could put another one of those guys up there in the body of the necklace, right? Done. Done and done. You know, might need a little bit more refining. I don't know. You could maybe put some of this, the rest of that fancy pants chain in there, whatever. However you want to do it. But it's kind of cool. You could even, I mean, if this, I love that tassel. Maybe it's a little overly dramatic. I don't know. Maybe it is. Maybe it isn't. But this feather would also be a great way to just come in. There's my necklace. I could do this Wind River, and then I could put another small feather at the bottom, or a different charm, or whatever it is I wanted. So there's, I think this component here has a lot of potential for it. Okay, so I hope that was fun for you guys. It was fun for me. I really loved this kind of cool look to this component. I'll have Karen take a photo of it, put it on the home page for now, so you guys will be able to see it, and go back to the video when you're ready to create. But just to go over the materials one more time so you guys know what's shaken with it, so you remember. I'll tell you guys right now. There we go. And these guys here. Okay, so we have this, what we call our Wind River. It's our large feather component right here. Okay, comes in all the different finishes. If you wanted to go down, you could go to the Feather Dance, which is this charm here, or you could go to these even smaller ones called Flight, and you could scale down everything that you do with these. Okay. I used the bare copper wire and 22 gauge for the base, 24 gauge to wrap over the top, and then just a variety of beads. 5mm champagne mix, check glass, red Chipotle popcorn Padres, and this really wonderful 8-2008, our matte teal AB in the Miyuki seed bead, the 8-aught. Okay, and of course a little scrap of this fancy pants chain in brass. Everything that you see here you can find right over on our website at beadshop.com. And if you're watching this live, or if you're watching this over Labor Day weekend, jump over to our website. We are having our big Labor Day sale going on right now through Monday. and it's a great time to shop. We also have double points going on, so you'll get double points for your purchase for our rewards program. So it's a great time to go shopping, end of summer shopping, but we, as always, really, really appreciate your support of our small business. It keeps us being able to do what we love. And if you haven't done it as well, go for it and download our lookbook from beadshop.com called Creative Journey, put together by Ali Mori and the Bead Shop design team. Thank you, Ali, for the inspiration for this Free Tip Friday for this. It was really, really great. So a big shout out. Hope everybody has a safe weekend. We're having some weather issues around the country, so everybody stay safe, batten down those hatches, and be creative. Let us know how you're doing. I will see you on Wednesday. Wednesday, we're going to be talking about, we've got some new bullion coming. Bullion, I'm going to show you it real quick here. It's not launched on the site yet, but it will be on Tuesday. It's heavy bullion. You can see I've opened it already. Karen took some photos, so we've got it open already. I'm going to be using heavy bullion. We have some new colors in the Griffin silk cord. So we're going to work with heavy bullion, silk cord. I'm going to give you a few more tricks and tips, but that's what Wednesday's broadcast is going to be all about. So, fabulous weekend all, and I will see you. Let me turn this around. I shouldn't sign off until I turn this around. There we go. I didn't realize I hadn't turned the camera around. There I am. I'll just peek in and say thanks again so much. And we'll see you guys on Wednesday for Facebook Live. Thanks so much, you guys.